Hi yogis, Katy here at Body and Shine Wellness in Elgin, Texas. One of our short videos this month is going to be helping you build strength for inversions and arm balances, so building shoulder and core strength. You might want to have a couple of blocks for these exercises, and we'll get started here in a second. All right, so these exercises, basically all of them have to do with pressing into your hands to lift yourself up off the ground. So if you already know that you might struggle with that, that's where the blocks are going to come in handy. And you want to make sure you have two sets of the same thickness of block or prop. So if you don't have yoga blocks, make sure whatever books or cushions or whatever it is that you're using to help lift yourself up are about the same height, because otherwise you're going to be lopsided and it's going to make it extra hard for no reason. But I'm also going to offer a number of different exercises kind of in the same family, so that you can mix it up, you can challenge yourself, you can try other things. So the first one, which I think is probably the most attainable if you're newer to this kind of thing, is starting seated in a cross-legged position and then just bringing your knees up towards your chest. You're going to take your hands or your blocks kind of in between the space between your feet and your hips. So for a long time, I would have my hands way too far back. I'd have them like right by my hips, and it's almost impossible to get any kind of lift off from having your hands that far back. So probably a little bit further forward than you think you might need them. And then just like you would in a crow pose or a handstand or a down dog or a plank, you want to put weight into your fingers and less into your wrists. So pressing into like the J of your hand or your fingertips, kind of almost clawing into your mat, but not like your hands are lifted up. It's just a very subtle, like gripping, palming a basketball kind of thing. So with that in mind, you're gonna keep your hands in close, elbows in by your sides, and you're gonna press and lift using your core and the muscles in your arms and your shoulders. And then hold for a few breaths, come down, and switch. Try with the other leg forward. Now, if it was really hard to get any kind of lift off from your butt, you want to put the blocks again in that space between your booty and your feet, and the blocks will help give you a little bit more space to lift yourself up, okay? And once you get more comfortable lifting from this position, maybe you try lifting one foot. You come down, you switch, and maybe eventually you do both feet, okay? Or you do no blocks, and then trying to lift one foot, but just kind of layering it for yourself for your comfort level. The thing that I see a lot with these is people relying all on their shoulder strength and not using much of their core. So you want to think pulling those low belly muscles in and up to help lift your tail like you would if you were trying to do a crow pose, or maybe find a little extra length in your spine in down dog. So using those low belly muscles to help you lift up a little bit your pelvic floor. So that's option one. Option two, same idea. And you also want to make sure you're taking care of your wrists while you do these. So if you're gonna practice, several of these, take a break, stretch out your wrists. I have a wrist stretch video. If you haven't gone to see it yet, go check it out. But anytime your wrists start to feel like they need a break, listen to your body, okay? So the next one is gonna be kind of the same idea. I'll turn this way so you can see a little bit better. This time, you're gonna be on your shins, and you can cross your legs to make it a little bit easier. You're gonna lift yourself up, and again, both feet might be on the floor, or you might start to lift one foot. I don't think I can, but you might lift both feet for like a second. I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't have blocks. That one's called Lalasana, and I always say it's like LOL asana because ha ha ha, I can't do it, so I just laugh. So that's Lalasana. So same idea, but that one's harder than sitting with your legs crossed because you have like a little bit less control of your legs. When your legs are crossed and you can kind of squeeze them in towards your body, there's less core work involved. Trying to lift the legs up with the shins underneath you, you have to really work to pull yourself up. So that's exercise number two. Exercise number three is called a Mula Bandha check. It's something they do in rocket yoga. So it's the same idea of pressing yourself up. Your feet are a little wider than mat width distance apart maybe. You start with one hand in between your legs and the other hand out by your hip. Same idea as the other two, lifting the butt up, maybe eventually lifting one leg, maybe lifting both legs, and then coming down and making sure you do both sides. This one, my quads always cramp, so you'll feel it in your legs a little bit more, because when your legs are extended out in front of you, obviously you have to engage your legs to help them get up with the rest of your body. So it does put more work on your legs too. Last one, option number 4, is same idea, both legs extended straight in front of you. So again, this one is a little more effort. It's probably the hardest one in my opinion, because you've got this weight right out in front of you. You've got to really keep your legs active, your inner thighs, your low belly. Again, blocks are probably a little further forward, or your hands, than you think they're going to be. If you have them all the way back here, it's going to be almost impossible to get any lift, okay? So having them maybe like mid-thigh region-ish, okay? So again, gripping like you would in crow or down dog, lifting yourself up, maybe one foot, maybe both feet, and then coming down. Trying to make sure you breathe while you do it too is important. So all 4 of those different exercises, whatever level you're at, are going to help you build strength in your shoulders, in your core, the muscles in your back, the muscles in your legs, which will all come in handy for things like handstands or inversions or arm balances, which is some of the stuff we'll be working on this month. So hopefully that helps. If you have any questions or requests for next month, let me know. And thanks for checking it out.